Hello, welcome to a daily recap. Today is August 23rd, 2016. Today we're going to go over the crude oil and also show some new integration that we have with JIGSAW. So crude oil today came in and is in a bull trend, so we're always identifying the big macro picture first. What's the state condition? What's the structure of that condition? And what strategy themes are inherent in that state and structure? So today in the crude oil, we're coming in with a bull trend. Attributes of a bull trend: it's positive bias, trending positive. Characteristics are it's a market that's making higher move highs, higher move lows. Structurally, the R level is at the downside pivot, so this is our support pivot, the low end of the critical range, and that identifies that lower trough where the bull trend is true. So as long as we're above 46.70 in crude oil, that tells us that this positive trend is in play. Because we have R level at the DP, there's certain inherent strategies. One of them is a buy R fade, so we're going to look to fade momentum into this level, which makes sense because that's the low part of the bull trend, that lower trough, and that's going to be the optimal strategy for this state and structure. And then we can leverage that up with a breakout above the midpoint or the directional, which is 47.71, anticipating a play for the upside pivot, which is 48.45, and that's going to be the confirmation point for an extension of a new bull trend. If we get a break in structure, that would be a failure from the 46.70 level, and that would trigger, it would make this statement of bull trend not true, and it would signal that we're in potentially a hedge theme, and we could use a sell R breakout strategy below there to take advantage of that. Also, we have a sell upside pivot reversal. If the market does break out to the upside and can't sustain that trade, that would be a tell that this market may be falling back into a corrective position, and so we could look to sell the market after an exhaustive signal there. Here we have an intraday chart, and this has our price map chart overlay application embedded on it. And currently I have our key major levels, our major critical range plotted. Here's 46.70, and this is the overnight action, and we can see that the market has been holding above this price point. One thing about these price map levels, they define the structure of the market state, and there's certain variances around them. You can see this here. This is our variance metric. It's kind of the optimal area of influence. So really anywhere in this area, you can consider that this level is holding true. And then for signal acceptance, we have what we call our alert distance, which gives us a kind of a bigger picture of an area where we can accept signals. So literally on a buy R fade strategy, we're accepting signals in this zone. And we can also use these metrics to help us with our stop placement, because once it takes out these metrics, it would be a signal that this market structure is broken. And we do have another indicator called a maximum stop distance, which would be the maximum amount that you'd really want to risk on a fade opportunity off this level. I'm going to remove the maximum stop distance just to keep this a little clean. Now the price map identifies the structure of the market, and you can see there's other levels in here, and what a derivative of this methodology, we get the price segment distance that the market's trading in, and so these are our minor levels, so I can add those to the price map here, and we can see that this market is trading in what we call a half segment move. A full segment move would be from one major level to the next. We call that an average price map distance, or APMD, and that's the expected movement of the market to make at least a 1 APMD move off a major inflection point, off a major level. So the market trades in half segments, full segments, and 2 segments. So you want to kind of use those as your trade vision for opportunities. And today the market held our metrics and we had a big charge higher, actually generated an additional buy DR breakout signal, and then attained our upside pivot metric. So you had your half APMD, a full APMD move, and attaining a 2 times APMD move to the upside in crude oil today. This was, and this pullback here, the same thing on these metrics. We're anticipating this market to stabilize, above these metrics off the directional, and they did, and so this is a sign of strength. So this, if you're talking about price structure, we're looking at price action within market structure. So you're going to have a break in price structure here when it took out these highs, and then you have a break in market structure here when it starts to climb the price map level. So there's two things. You've got price structure and market structure, and market structure is associated with the structure of the market, and it's going to trump the price structure break. So the more important thing is a market structure break. We do have some new integration with JIGSAW. To access it, you hit your settings, go to the JS tab, and through the desktop it will create a file, a JS data file in this directory. The symbols, instrument symbols, are linked to the platform. So if I'm looking at crude oil right now, and crude oil is under this platform is CL. And what you want to make sure that you do is that to make sure that this instrument symbol matches the symbol on the JS Services desktop market grid, and if it doesn't, then you want to enter that symbol here, and then the levels will show up. Just as we can kind of dial our major levels and metrics on and off the chart, we can do the same thing with the JIGSAW integration. So here you can see in the chart we have our levels and our metrics, and so if I want to take off some of our metrics, I can take off my alert distance, take off all the metrics. I can only not show the minor levels, just show the major levels, or only show those major critical ranges. For the minor levels, they're only going to have a variance associated with them, whereas the major levels, like the directional here, it's going to have an alert distance as well. And the maximum stop distance will show up as one single point. So this is the maximum stop distance actually for the directional, and this one is actually the lower maximum stop distance for the upside pivot. When you start your day and you open your platform, you'll have to come here and hit load, and that'll update your price map levels here. The data is going to match up with the date here on your desktop, so if your desktop is not up to date, you can hit this button and it'll refresh your desktop. For more information, please contact us at info@jsservices.com. Look forward to working with you.